It's just not like that.
It's better done by a man, really, isn't it? No.
Oh, God, yeah.
Someone telling you.
But my dad said he wouldn't. He just said, no, he said he'll find out for himself like I did. And that's true enough, because you want to find out in the playground. You don't want your parents to tell you. Because your parents never made love. My parents never made love. I don't know how I'm here. The same goes for you guys.
Yeah, it's a mystery.
You can't imagine your parents.
It's the stork.
Shagging, can you?
Whoa.
No, come on, you're a grown man. But
Stop there.
You can't do it, can you, man?
No.
You can't do it.
No.
And can you imagine them doing it for fun? Can you?
I can't imagine, but I hope they did.
You can just about imagine them doing it for
They don't anymore.
clinical purposes, like child creation. But the idea of them having, gels and feathers and music and stuff. When I was little, my parents used to send me to Sunday school. That's why, another reason why I'm mad. And I could never work out really why, but you don't question things when you're 8, do you? You just do it. And then one day, one of the Sunday school teachers said, it's a nice day, so we'll go for a walk. So we all had to hold hands in a line, and we went for a walk. And bugger me if we didn't go down the road I lived in. And I was about to say, there's my house, when I looked at the front of the house, and guess what? My parents' bedroom curtains were drawn. And I realised why I was being sent to Sunday school.
That's got to be the worst thing in the
So
world.
that they could have a shag.
They were worshipping in a different church, weren't they, Tommy?
Is that not the worst thought
They
in the
were
world, your parents?
bonking in there.
Oh.
And I looked up, I was 8, and I knew.
What, even
I
at 8?
knew. Yes. Because Stephen DeBeega told me when I was about 6, and this is how I learnt the facts of life. And I don't know what you do about this, but I'm going to tell this because it's true. I'd heard about the gooseberry bush and I'd heard about the stork. But Stephen DeBeega, I've changed his name, he said to me up the Glebland one day, we were playing football, and he just went, do you know how you were born? And I went, yeah. And he went, your dad stuck his cock up your mum's arse. All right? And that's how I learned the facts of life. Now, I'm reporting that. I don't care about the language. That's true. That's what I heard when I was 6. And I can remember what I was wearing, and I stood there going... You know what my thought was? How could he? It's all floppy. that was my first thought. So, I don't know how we've got Splint system. But you can't imagine your parents...
I think I might have walked in on my parents when I was a kid. It's a very vague memory.
Yeah, it happened to us once. My wife and I, our eldest came in. Didn't know what... None of us knew what to do, because I could tell he knew. He just came in. And, you freeze. You don't... Luckily,
take a photo.
Luckily, it was a winter one, so the duvet was...
We've put a...
It was...
Have you ever had the girl's parents walk in while you're doing, so we say, for want of a better word, their daughter?
No.
Not have I, but a friend of mine said that apparently he was having his way with a girl in her bedroom one day, and her dad walked in and just turned around and said, Dave, I can see your white arse, and closed the door again.
Oh, my God. I had a friend walking on me about 4 months ago. I had a bit of a shindig around my house. Well, I was with my parents at the time, and they'd gone on holiday. And I was upstairs in my bedroom, and then she walked in on me in the middle of having sex, and we were like, oh, hang on a minute, you want to bugger off, basically. Half an hour later, she was very drunk. Half an hour later, she walked in again, looking for the same thing that she was looking for before, which I can't remember what. Then she did it again.
She probably wanted to join in.
No, it was my best mate's girlfriend.
Well, she still might have wanted to join
in Japan, and this is really a comment more on the unique culture of Japan than anything else. Something which we in this country call dogging is very widespread and commonplace. And people go to public places in the dark to make love to strangers that they never speak to.
I drive past a dogging spot on my way home every Sunday night. It's always full of cars. Yep.
I'm sure it is.
On the Hog's Back. In the car park where the cafe is.
And there's somewhere else as well, isn't there? On the A3.
On the side of the A3, yeah. By the M25 junction. Yeah.
Why do you guys know about this?
See you there in an hour then.
All I was going to say was that...
Just got to go to the toilet.
In Japan, they've got different ways of doing it, though. Some people go and they do that, but there are other people... Japanese people who get their kicks out of creeping up and watching them, right? But this is the weird bit. There are other people who get their kicks out of creeping up and watching the people who are watching the people who are doing it. So you get this... Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's a bit odd, isn't it?
A great Japanese artist has come up with this exhibition, and it's photographs of people doing this. Voyeurs, watching people doing it.
Are the voyeurs kind of, masturbating or something whilst they're watching?
I don't know.
Because otherwise I could see a point of, not me personally, but...
I tell you, it's an exhibition I'd like to go and see, because what he's done is he's blown up all the photographs so that they are real-life size. And the gallery is in total darkness. And when you go in, you get a very cheap torch. And he says that it recreates the sensation that he has when he was watching all this going on. So because you can only look at small parts of the naked bodies of the people who are doing it at one time. He said, and that's how it was for me. But I've never wanted to watch anybody else making love. I stumbled on somebody once in a car, this sort of bottom going up and down with the front seat laid back, and I looked away as quickly as I could, but it's burned into my mind. It's an image I don't want. I don't know why. Why do I hate that image? But I do. I don't want it. I didn't like it, seeing somebody else having fun.
Well, it doesn't do anything for you, does it?
No,
presumably. But you presumably would if it was women.
Two women doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's I mean, that is typical, isn't it?
Yeah, that is typical. All men are fascinated by lesbianism.
Yeah.
That's great.
Fascinated.
And yet, I don't think all women are fascinated by homosexuality at all.
Probably not. No.
Well, I can understand that.
Stephen Hatfield says, "Oh my God, the realisation of it all. My sister and I were sent to the shops every Sunday to buy a butter cake. We thought it was because they liked it. It was a revolting cake. They sent us so they could have a shag. It's very scary."
I think there might be a lot of it going on. You think about it.
Well, what else do you do if you've got kids and you're worried about them walking in on you?
We
and you
put a
wanna
bolt.
have a shag and get your rocks off. What do you do?
We've put a bolt on our bedroom door.
Yeah, but even then...
So we're just chatting.
It always reminds me of that scene from Train Spotting, where he goes out and he meets that girl in the club.
Chat with your dad.
He goes out and he meets the girl in the club, and he takes her back home because he thinks, he's on here, and he gets his way with her and all the rest of it. And he wakes up in the morning and steps out, and there's this man and woman at the breakfast table having breakfast. So he sits down and, "Oh, you were flatmates?" And they turn around and say, "Oh, is that what she calls us nowadays?" And she walks out and it's her mum and dad.
She walks out in a school uniform.
Actually, I've got a joke someone told me. Do you want to hear it?
Go on, then.
Okay. There's this boy, and I'm really used to these jokes. I forget all the punchlines. Okay. There's a boy, and he knows he's going to have sex with this girlfriend of his, and so he goes into the chemist, and the chemist is really, really helpful. And he said, "Well, Sonny, there's packs of 3. And there's packs of 6, and there's packs of 12 or whatever. And, you might want a big pack if you want to do it quite a bit." And he goes, "Oh, yes, please." And he spent an hour with him, telling him all about the birds and the bees and how to do it and everything. So he goes to have dinner with this girl first, with her parents, and he goes in. And he's a little bit late, so they usher him in quite quickly, and they say, "Right, we're going to say grace." So he puts his head down like this, and it's kind of silent grace, okay, they're just having a little prayer. So this. So about 3 minutes passes, and they're all looking up, and he's still got his head down. About 10 minutes pass, and he's still got his head down. No one knows what to do. He's like this. After 20 minutes, his girlfriend goes over and she says, "What are you doing? I didn't know you were that religious." He goes, "Didn't know your bloody father was a fucking pharmacist."
That's very good. That's very, very good.
That's an 8. Well told, good visuals.
Can I tell you a true confession? Take the call, and I'll
Take a quick call, then. True confession. Yeah, you're on the Human Zoo on Play Radio.